the chapter number 5, that is combustion and fossil fuel. In that we have just seen up to the flames in the previous video. Now moving further. So here in previous video we have just remained with the difference between blue flame and yellow flame. So let us first of all see the blue flame and yellow flame. So it is produced blue flame. It is produced due to the sufficient supply of oxygen that leads to complete combustion of hydrocarbons. Means there is a sufficient supply of oxygen due to which the blue flame is there, and then after the yellow flame. In that the insufficient supply of oxygen, due to the insufficient supply of oxygen, this yellow flame occurs. Then after it is produced due to the insufficient supply of oxygen leads to incomplete combustion of hydrocarbons. Then after blue flame, it emits very little light and that is therefore known as a non-luminous flame. And yellow flame, it emits a lot of light and is therefore known as the luminous flame. Its temperature is higher, its temperature is lower, no residue is left behind. The product of combustion are carbon dioxide and water. The product of combustion are a residue of black colored soot and also carbon monoxide and water. So this is the difference between blue flame and yellow flame. And then after we just move towards the zone of candles. So what are the zones of candles? Zones of candles. Zones of candle flame. Let us see that. See here. First of all, just drawing a candle over here. If I say that this is a candle, okay, and here there are three zones that are yellow, blue and black. Okay, so first of all here in the, if I draw, first of all, that is a black, that is over here in the middle, which is a black part. Okay, so that is the inner zone. This is the inner zone. The inner zone, that is black. It is the coolest part of the flame. In this zone, the wax vapors remains unburned as no oxygen is available. This zone is completely dark and emits no light. Here, near about this, the light is not emitted. And then after there is yellow zone. So we don't have yellow color marker, so that I am just drawing that with red color. So that is middle zone. Okay, that is middle zone. So the middle zone, what is middle zone? Middle zone is less hot than the outer zone. Here, incomplete combustion of wax vapors produce carbon particles and carbon monoxide. This zone emits the most light. Okay, this zone emits the most light, and then after comes the outer zone, that is blue zone. Outer zone, that is blue zone. Blue zone. So this is the blue zone, which is the outer zone. But why it is blue zone? Because here it is sufficient amount of oxygen, so there is blue flame. So it is the hottest part of the flame. In this zone, the wax vapors have enough oxygen to burn completely. This zone emits very little light. So these are the three zones. The inner zone, this is the most inner zone, okay, and the middle zone, this is the middle zone, and then coming towards the outer zone. Okay, these are the three zones of the candle end. Now let us see some of the description about it. Here, a candle can be divided into three zones, that is inner zone, which I have drawn here with the black marker, then coming towards the middle zone, which is with the red marker, and the outer zone, which is with the blue marker. So, inner zone, the inner zone appears black as it lacks oxygen and hence no combustion takes place. It contains unburnt wax, vapor, and is the least hot or coolest zone of the candle. This is the least cold or the coolest zone of the candle. Why? Because there is not sufficient amount of oxygen over here. So, and then coming towards the middle zone. The middle zone is where the wax vapor start burning. From here, there is not full. There is some of the oxygen is there, so it is burning. The middle zone is where the wax vapors start burning. There is insufficient oxygen which results in the incomplete combustion. A yellow or luminous flame is produced due to the glowing of the carbon particles, which is also known as soot. Okay. In addition, carbon monoxide and water are also produced. The flame here is hotter than the inner zone. Here the flame is hotter than the inner zone. And then after the outer zone, from that which is the highest, here is the highest temperature, outer zone. The outer zone is where the wax vapor have sufficient oxygen to burn completely and produce carbon dioxide and water. The flame appears blue and produce very little light. It is the hottest zone. So these are the three zones of the candle: inner zone, middle zone, and the outer zone. The hottest zone is outer zone, and then after second hottest, that is middle, and then after the inner zone. Okay, now moving further, our new topic, that is combustion of a wax candle. That is, candles are usually made of paraffin wax, which is obtained from petroleum. Have you ever observed a candle flame? What do you think is burning? Let us closely observe the candle flame and list our observation. Okay, in next video, if it is possible, then what we will do, we will burn a candle over here. Okay, so the first observation, that is the wick burns with a flame. There is a molten wax present in a curved in space on solid wax, and then after that part of the wick which is between the flame and the solid wax does not burn. The molten and the solid wax does not catch the fire. The size of the candle becomes smaller with the time. So these are the observations that we see in the candle when it is started burning. Then after, as the molten and the solid wax does not burn and yet the candle size decreases with the time, it must be the wax vapor burning in the addition to the wick. This can be proved by bringing a light matchstick near the wick immediately after the candle flame has been exhausted. The flame appears to jump to the wick to relight it. This happens because the wax vapor can now leave the wick after the candle has been exhausted and the light matchstick relights them. So here what happens? Here they are saying that when you just blow down the candle, and what will happen? The soot which is just vaporing, the candle wax vapor is just vaporing, then after you just bring a light matchstick over there, then the candle will start again burning. Okay, this we will see in the next video. By practically I will bring the candle. The process of combustion can now be explained as when the wick is lighted, the wax present on and near the wick being to melt. At this point, the wick absorbs the molten wax and pulls it upward. The heat of the flame vaporizes the molten wax, which burns in the presence of oxygen to produce a flame. Here there are some of the activities given over here, but we will just these activities we will do in the next video in the practical only. Okay students, I am just reading this activity now. To prove that when a candle burns, the vapor of the wax burns in addition to the wick. Okay, materials needed: a candle and a matchbox. Light the candle and wait for 5 minutes. Blow out the candle and at once a burning stick near the smoke or close to the wick without touch. Means first of all we have to blow a candle for 2 to 3 minutes, and then after we have to blow it out the candle, and then after the vapor, wax vapor which is just going upside, we have to just a burning stick is to be kept near, then the candle will start burning again. Observation: the flame appears to jump to the wick to relight it. Discussion: immediately after the candle has been exhausted, the light mastic relight the wax vapor that are present close to the wick. Conclusion: this proves that it is the vapor of the wax that burns and not the liquid or solid wax. Note: this activity should be performed under adult supervision. Okay. The next activity, that is to prove that when a candle is lit, the liquid wax absorbed by the wick is converted into vapor. Here in this activity what is to be done, that the burning candle is to be blown. Okay, and then after you can see the vapor wax which is just going upside a mat. In that what we need is, that is a candle, a matchbox, a pair of tongues or tweezer method. Light the candle using a pair of tongue or tweezer. Squeeze the wick tightly for some time from the flame and the liquid wax. Observation: the flame goes out after some time. Conclusion: by squeezing the wick tightly, the wick is unable to absorb liquid wax. This stops the supply of the fuel or combustion substance and the flame exhausted. Note: this activity also should be done under this adult supervision. And then after here, the another activity, that is to prove that the carbon dioxide is produced on burning candle wax. Here we have done all this activity. The burning candle is to be just put a inverse glass or anything else, then you can see that the candle is blown out. Let us read that. To prove that the carbon dioxide is present on the burning of the candle wax, we needed is a medium length candle, a matchbox and glass tumbler, beaker, aluminium foil and the lime water solution. Fix a candle into a glass tumbler. Ensure that the length of the candle is less than the height of the tumbler. Light the candle. Cover the tumbler with a piece of aluminium foil to cut off the supply of oxygen. The candle flame exhausted after some time. Now remove a small portion of the foil and pour freshly prepared lime water into the tumbler. Scissor the content of the tumbler and remove the entire foil and candle from it. The candle flame goes out and the oxygen is used up. Lime water turns milky. Conclusion: burning of wax produces carbon dioxide gas which react with lime water to produce insoluble calcium carbonate. And this activity also should be done under the adult supervision. And now moving forward, there is another activity here to prove that water vapor is also produced on burning candle wax. Here we have to see that. So for that, materials needed: a lightened candle, steel spoon, ice cold water in a bowl and a paper napkin. Okay, keep a spoon in ice cold water in a bowl for some time as seen in the figure number A, and then after take out the spoon and try it properly with a paper napkin. Immediately hold it over the flame of the candle for 1 or 2 seconds. Observation: water vapors condense on the cool spoon. The conclusion: water vapor is produced on the burning candle wax. Okay, so this is the 4 activities. We will try to do this of the activities here in the video only. Okay, in the next video. And now here it is, let's answer Okay, first of all, write down the answers of it. Here, first of all, question number A, that is fill in the blanks. Here, that is question number A. Fill in the blanks with the correct words in that paper and coal are dash substance, combustible or non-combustible. So here they are combustible substance. So your first answer, that is combustible substance. Combustible substance. Then after, a yellow flame is a dash flame, luminous or non-luminous. Then it will be luminous. Okay, third one. Combustion does not take place in the dash zone of a candle flame, in the inner zone. In the inner zone. Fourth one, the inner zone appears black as it has dash oxygen, lack of oxygen. Fourth one. Lack of oxygen. Then after the fifth one, dash burns to produce a yellow or blue flame, that are hydrocarbons. Fifth one, that is hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons. And then after, here comes the true or false. But that first of all you just do by yourself, and I will give the answer in the next video. And here our new topic, that is fuels. So first of all you just write down the answer. I am giving you some time. Okay students, have you written the answers? And now our new topic is that is fuels. So what are fuels? First of all, a definition is given over in your textbook. First of all, read that. Fuels. So what are fuels? Here it is written, substance that release heat and light energy on combustion are called fuels. So here first of all, what is fuel? If I say that the thing from which it can be burned are known as the fuels. So the fuels are of different kinds, which solid fuels are there, liquid fuels are there, and gases are also used as the fuel. So first of all, what is solid fuels? We have seen, if I just take an example of candle only, in that you can see the wax is The solid. Then it is also a fuel and liquid. We know that petrol, diesel that are liquid, and in gas the hydrogen is used. Okay students, and here first of all just reading, substances that release heat and light energy on combustion are called fuels. Some commonly used fuels are wood, coal, cow dung cakes, kerosene, LPG, petrol and diesel. The energy produced by a fuel is for various purposes such as cooking, heating, driving automobiles and for generating of electricity. A fuel must always contain one or more combustible elements such as carbon, hydrogen and sulfur. Okay, and here they have given the types of fuel which I have just tell you. Fuels are classified based on their physical state as solid, liquid and gaseous fuels. Some of the fuels that we obtain naturally are wood, coal, petroleum and natural gas. Charcoal, coal tar and coal gas are examples of fuels that are manufactured through some process. Here you can see in the table number 5.2 the types of fuel which is just classified. Okay, but that we will see in the next video. And in your today's homework what you will do is read the topics which we have just done today. And I have given you that true or false which was on the page number 68 of Let's Answer. Let's answer page number 68, or in that question number B, that was true or false, that you have to do by your own first of all, and then after I will give the answers in the next video. Okay students, and we will meet in the next video. Bye students.